say what's on my mind.
Who you know got it like that? Who you know really make rappers get loud?
We're going to be doing a different live. We're going to be talking a little bit more about fitness, dating, all that good stuff to help give you guys some knowledge, some feedback, some game, and everything to help you guys to level up. So, I think my first question to you for a lot of guys watching this right now that maybe wanting to get into relationships or approach women, what do you feel like is the best way to approach a woman? Let's just say at the grocery store.
At the grocery store. I think in a friendly way, and maybe just start up a conversation with something you can find in common with her. Not necessarily make it so obvious that you're approaching her because you want to get her number or whatever. But just something that the girl can feel just like having a safe connection and a safe conversation. Because a lot of women are just, they're not too trusting when a man just comes up to them randomly. So maybe just be friendly and find a way to connect with them with, it could be very simple, but just something that you can connect with them and then go from there.
So I feel like two things. One, when it comes to guys approaching women, I feel like one of the best things is to find something that piqued your interest, that maybe like you see that she's doing or on her that you guys have in common, that you guys can start a conversation with, anything really to kind of just break that ice, but in a respectful way, in a non like creepy way. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel like has been like some of the worst approaches that you've had from a guy before?
I mean, when they don't follow that approach, they just they just come up to me and.
So like going straight and say something about your body, is that bad?
That is definitely bad. Or just going straight up to them and like asking straight up for their number, like, oh, you're pretty, can I have your phone number? I mean, it might work. I'm not saying it's not gonna work, and like there might be times that it works, but it's just more likely for you to receive a yes and a girl more willing to not only give you her number but actually respond when you call and respond when you text, because she might give you the phone number and then you text and then she blocks you. So for it to be more likely that she gives it to you and she actually is interested, it's more when you approach in a friendly way and you find something in common, just so the conversation flows and it's more natural, rather than her feeling like, oh, they saw me, they thought I was pretty, and they just want my number. Like sometimes it just may throw them off. I don't know.
Right. Okay, so let's say that the guy, he's got the number now, right?
Okay.
He got your number. He was spitting the game. He's got you all, feeling good and whatnot. He texts you. How long should he text you for until he sets the date? I personally, I tell my guys, and what I used to do was, maybe exchange a couple texts and then set a date. What do you feel like, from a girl's perspective, is the best way of going about that?
I think it just depends. I think it depends on how the conversation goes. Like, you can tell if she even wants to keep talking to you or she's just stringing along the conversation. But I would say maybe a couple of texts. Maybe, I mean, what you did with me, you set up a phone call for us to talk. And that was very attractive. So I think a lot of men don't do that. Like, set up a phone call to, like, just talk, besides just texting.
But I feel like that was outside of, like, us approaching.
Yeah.
Like, me approaching you at, like, a store or something. Like, for context, my mom put us together. Like, my mom hooked us up. So, like, I had never spoken to her before until, like, my mom sent me her number. So I wanted to
clarify that.
Yeah, I want to clarify that for one, but then two as well, like, I wanted to hear who she was and talk to her before I took her on a date, because I view it as, if we hop on a phone call and we don't even have, like, a flow in conversation,
then what's the point?
Then what's the point of even going out on a date?
Yeah.
So, like, at least that's how I look at it. That's how I kind of go about it. you guys are online dating or like somebody puts you guys together. But like you were saying, you said that.
I think that even in the like situation of you approaching a girl, maybe sending a few texts and then like actually doing the phone call. Because even if you did see them in person and had a nice conversation, it might not. It might have been like a short conversation, just to like have maybe 5-10 minutes conversation. Then you get their number.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily gonna be a conversation in which you try to get to know the person a little bit more or see how the conversation flows or if there's any connection, whatever. And that may make her even more susceptible to saying yes once you try to set a date, because then she's heard your voice, she's talked to you. Texting, anybody can fake a text, so it's like it's not the same thing as like hearing the person's voice and actually talking. So
Okay, so let's say that you know the guy and the girl, they go on a date, they go on multiple dates, they hit it off, and now they're in a relationship with each other.
like officially in a relationship.
Yeah, they're officially in a relationship. So we're gonna segue this a little bit into, let's say, any guys. Zay's Light, go ahead and ask your question, man. Drop it down below. If any of you guys have any questions, drop them down below. But yeah, let's say that you guys are in a relationship at this point. It's going steady. What do you feel like are like green flags for a boyfriend to do while in a relationship?
How deep in the relationship? Like how long have they been official?
Let's say 6 months.
6 months official.
6 months to a year.
6 months to a year. Okay. Green flags. You want me to keep it simple or like?
Say whatever you want to say.
Okay. First of all, respectful and kind in conversation. Like, I think a lot of men, sometimes they don't realize the way they speak, and the way you speak is very important to a woman in terms of being able to control your emotions no matter what the conversation may be. So let's say there's a disagreement, or the girl did something that you didn't like, or maybe you did something she didn't like and she's confronting you about it. A lot of men sometimes don't hold themselves with their emotions and are able to have a conversation without yelling or without raising their voice or without maybe just getting in the defensive. Like, the most important thing to remember in a relationship is that it's you two versus the problem. It's not one versus the other. So when you have that in your mind, then you know that this person's not against me and I'm not against them. We're trying to figure out a solution to what's happening right now.
Yeah. And I feel like that also goes into, I guess, a guy just kind of having that masculine center and just kind of control over his emotions and kind of leading the conversation to where he wants it to go. Right?
Yeah. It's like if the conversation is going sideways, yes, the woman, can try to get it to calm down and all that, but it's attractive in every way, but not just that, it's a green flag, and it's also the responsibility.
Why is it attractive? Why is that attractive? A guy let me bring it up. Why is it attractive that a guy is able to stay calm during a conversation and take lead into it in a respectful and thoughtful way for you?
Because that's like the masculine energy. So it's just naturally attractive for a woman to see men in their role, because then it allows us to be in our role, and it's like you feel safe. So then you are more attracted to wanting to have that energy around more often.
And I think where a lot of guys mess up is that they don't understand that there's different energies.
Yeah.
There's a masculine and there's a feminine energy, because it's like, especially in today's day and age, it's just almost like, oh, there's no difference between us. We're together. Men and women are equal. So talk to them a little bit about masculine and feminine energy, or like at least you talk about feminine energy, and I'll talk about masculine energy.
Okay, so the first thing is that yes, you guys are equal in terms of value, in terms of respect, in terms of how important you are in the relationship. All of that, you guys are equal in that. but the things you bring to the table are not going to look the same because you guys have different roles in terms of what you need to bring in order to flourish the relationship. And I think everybody has negative and masculine, feminine and masculine energy within themselves, but a woman has more feminine and a man has more masculine. And the more you step into that, the easier it is for you to have healthy relationships, for you to have success, for you to flow and just feel more like in yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, for feminine energy, it's more of a nurturing energy. So wanting to bring like love and peace and just calm to the relationship in terms of like a lot of kisses. Mm-hmm. How many kisses a day do I give you?
Too many.
A lot of kisses, or just a lot of food, because food just brings you comfort. Mm-hmm. And a lot of things is just bringing that comfort to the relationship and that safe feeling of you can talk to this person and you're able to trust this person. And it's like, it's more of a soft energy as compared to masculine energy. Which,
yeah, and masculine energy is like what Stella was saying, that there's no, like, everybody has both essence in them. Like, everybody still has the feminine energy, everybody still has masculine energy within them, right? But guys are going to have a little bit more masculine than feminine. At least that's how it should be. But if you have more feminine inside of you, you're not going to be able to attract a feminine woman, because then it's like she's talking to a girl best friend, which is why
you start off.
Yeah, which is why, like, a lot of guys will get friend zoned, or a lot of guys will just won't get the girls past a certain amount of dates, whatever it may be, right? You're not into your masculine energy too much. Now, masculine energy is about purpose, direction, drive, ambition, accomplishing your goal, and just being like a leader. Just being an all-around leader, right? But leading starts with you first. You feel what I'm saying? Like, leading starts with you first. You can't expect your girl to come into your life and then you want to start to be able to be a leader, right? Like, you got to be a leader before the girl comes into your life, because then it's like, what are you leading? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What can you show her that you can lead? You know, she's not going to feel safe. She's not going to feel comfortable around you or to let you lead. Do you feel like that's do you think that's valid?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that one of the biggest things that a lot of guys fuck up with is, now you may disagree, but I think that too many guys fuck up with just blurting all their feelings out too soon in a relationship before it becomes like something official with the girl. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk about your feelings. I'm not saying that you shouldn't communicate with your girlfriend or the girl that you're dating, but there's ways to go about it, right? And if you're bringing up the relationship topic and feelings too soon, that's not your department. That's not your energy. Like, femininity is about nurturing, bonding, commitments, all that stuff, and it's like it just throws off the dynamic. What do you think?
I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I do think that, I mean, in the moment, some women may be like, oh, this guy's really into me and he really likes me, but then eventually it starts to it gives you the egg. It just gives you the egg. It kind of makes you feel like this person just like threw themselves at me. Yeah. And it's not that she needs to throw herself at you. I mean, it's more so that when time goes on, she'll naturally want to show those feelings and express those feelings. And then that itself will show you the right time to then express it back and then show it back. Rather than you doing it, and then if it hasn't come out of her yet, then she might start questioning if she's there yet, or start questioning if you really are truly feeling that, because it's too soon. Because if I'm not even feeling that and I'm the woman, then are you sure you're feeling that, or are you just saying that, you know, it doesn't feel trusting for the man to do it first. first.
It doesn't feel genuine.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't feel genuine. And like for you guys that don't know, the ick for a woman, because I know y'all like, what the fuck is the ick, man? It's pretty much what we've been talking about. It's when a woman feels that a man is acting like a woman.
Yeah.
That's what the ick is, pretty much.
That is what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is. So let's go ahead and talk about, I guess, just like how a man looks, right? We talked about how a man should carry himself. We talked about how he should approach. Now let's talk about how he looks, right? So when you see a guy that's in shape, or let me back it up a little bit. Okay, so when we first started dating, you started becoming more consistent with the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you feel like? Do you feel like before we got together, like, were you wanting a guy, or was it something on your list, your criteria, where you wanted a guy that like kept himself in shape and went to the gym or anything like that? Was that big on your list?
Yes, I mean it's not like I wanted. It's not like in my head it's like he needs to have a six pack and like be the hottest man alive and just he can't eat anything that is not healthy. You know what I mean? It's more so just show that you care about yourself. Because I feel like I dated guys that did not seem like they cared about their diet and their body. And that in itself started affecting me and how I cared about my own body and my own health. And I think when you show that you care for your own well-being and your own health enough to stay committed and consistent and put in the effort to do the things and take the steps that you need to take in order to get there, whatever goals you may have, then it just shows that if you're this committed to yourself, then it shows commitment in general, which makes us be like, okay, maybe he'll be more committed to me. That being in a relationship with this man sounds like something that he will be committed to because he's committed to himself. And that in itself is a way of leadership because you are leading with the idea of commitment, the idea of taking action, the idea of setting goals and actually like doing the things you need to do in order to reach them, not just talking. So it's like a lot of men plan or talk or just say things, but they don't actually do anything. And then that kind of it eventually becomes unattractive because if I can't trust your word, then it's like So that also not just commitment, but also like then know that I can trust your word based on the fact that you say you're gonna do something with your health goals and in terms of I want to lose this amount or I want to cut this out of my diet or I want to go this amount of times to the gym this week and this month and this year and you actually do it. It's like you're staying to your word to yourself, so I know I can trust that what you say to me is valid.
So why do a lot of girls say that they want a guy that has a dad bod? Why do a lot of girls say that then?
I think it's the feeling that the fact that you can, from time to time eat a cookie and bench on cake makes us feel like we can as well. Because, if the guy is like, I haven't eaten a cookie in like 10 years, it's like, I mean, I ate a cookie yesterday. So it's like, I think it's not necessarily the idea of a dad bod, more like the idea of being human and like being natural. Like you have the idea of staying healthy, but you're not obsessed with it to the point where I feel like I'm gonna be constricted and like,
Right.
I mean, I can't speak for all women. Maybe some others do want like an actual
dad bod.
yeah, I don't know.
but I mean, not based off of, but like since you've been dialing in more with your fitness goals and tracking your macros and all that, like you've come to realize, like today we went to go grab a slice of pizza and you made it fit into your macros. So like, do you feel like it's from, at least if that's their thought processing, why they want a guy that has a dad bod, do you feel like it's coming from a place of just not really understanding fitness and really dieting and all that? Not that you have to kill yourself, but it's about really having the balance.
I mean, I didn't know anything about like until I started tracking my macros, which is when we started dating, I didn't realize how much calories were in it. I was like, why is there so many calories in this?
Yeah.
And like, I feel like when you don't have that information, that knowledge, then it definitely becomes easier to feel like, yeah, they might not eat what they. Was that your question?
Yeah, like, do you think that a lot of women, if they're having the thought process that, well, I just want to be on a restrictive lifestyle my whole life, it's just kind of like
they don't know how to make it fit.
They don't understand.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, and I also feel like maybe it's the fact that because they don't know that, and then seeing a guy that's so fit, they don't understand that just because they're so fit doesn't mean that they don't also eat the things that they want. And it kind of makes us, because I don't know, to me, I always thought that for you to be able to get there, you had to cut everything out or be very so restrictive to the point where you feel like you're dying because you want this and you can't have it.
Right.
But that's not true. That realistically, that's not true. You're
not.
able to fit all of that into your macros and still lose weight and still gain muscle and still like attack your health goals. But if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't have the
science almost.
The science of it, then you're not gonna think of it that way. You're just gonna see the fact that you have to eat healthy, but healthy, you can eat healthy, but it's not necessarily gonna help you lose weight.
Right.
Like a lot of people think just because you eat healthy, you're gonna lose weight, and then they get stuck in this pattern of eating healthy and they're not losing weight. But it's because you're not tracking your calories.
You're still not tracking those macros.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people all the time, like, you can lose weight eating McDonald's every day if you want to. You know, you're not gonna lose weight in a healthy way.
Yeah.
But you can, and you can still gain weight eating a whole bunch of healthy foods. You know, so really having to understand the science of everything is what's gonna allow you to, you know, lose the weight and also be able to keep that lifestyle and not feel like everything's so restrictive.
Yeah.
You know, so what do you feel like? I guess from a woman's perspective, in a relationship, right? If a woman says, "Oh, I love you the way that you look," and we know damn well he's got a big belly, doesn't go to the gym, and let's say that she's in like decent shape herself, right?
Okay.
She's in decent shape herself, right? And her man's got a big belly, he's just not in shape, and he's having the feeling of wanting to make a transformation, lose some weight, but he's still kind of on the fence. But when he asks his wife, "Hey, what do you think? Do you think I should lose weight?" She says, "I love you the way that you look." Do you think that's cap? Do you think that's a lie? Like,
I think that's feminine energy.
what is feminine energy?
The idea that, I mean, some might, but it's more likely for a woman to not just come out and tell you you're fat, you're getting weight, you have to go lose it. It's more like the nurturing, the loving, like I want you to feel safe, I want you to be happy, and that's something that risks the feeling of, is he gonna be happy with me saying that to him? But it's also are you gonna take action and do it yourself? Like, why? Like, if you're asking me, it's because there's something in you that's questioning, like, if you're okay with how you look, how you are. And me telling you that you are gaining weight might just hurt your feelings, rather than you telling me, look, I have not been comfortable with how I look, so I'm going to take these steps. Then what she's going to do from her feminine energy is support you.
Right.
Rather than if you ask her, should I lose weight, that just runs the risk of her feeling like she's an asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
And she doesn't want to feel like an asshole or hurt your feelings.
So she rather just, I love you how you are. Like, and she might love you like how you are, but still want you to lose weight. That doesn't negate the fact that she might want you to lose weight, but she's not going to tell you that straight up most of the time. Rather, if you come to her, I guarantee you that if you come to her and I'm like, I have this plan to lose weight, or I want to lose weight and this is what I'm going to do, I'm tired of seeing how I'm looking, she's not going to tell you, like, don't do it. Like, most likely she's just gonna support you. Like, okay, if this is what you want to do, then I'll support you. Let's see how maybe even herself, if she wants to lose weight too, she'll like join in, because you're taking leadership and you're taking action for yourself, which makes her want to take action for herself.
So you guys heard that. If she's not gonna say straight out to your face, yes, motherfucker, you need to go lose some weight, right? She's gonna tell you, baby, I love you the way that you look, because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings, right? She doesn't want to hurt your feelings, but that doesn't mean that you still shouldn't take action towards your goals, right? And it's okay to take action towards your goals for you to look better and to look better for your girlfriend or for your wife as well too. Like I think that's amazing. Now let's talk about because this is something I hear a lot on my calls, right? Let's talk about when a guy is ready to take action on his goals, but he says when it comes to making an investment, he has to talk to his girlfriend or wife first before making the investment to work on himself or his goals. What are your opinions on that? One, is it attractive to you as a woman to hear that from your man? And two, yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay, when you say talking, are you saying that he's asking permission, or that he wants to have a conversation with her so she knows moving forward what he's planning on doing with his health goals?
He wants financial permission to. You see? You see? You see?
Okay. Yeah, no. I think it's just like, I don't know, it's just permission in any area is just icky. And then like asking permission financially to do something that's gonna be something that's good for you and that you want to do kind of makes me question if you really want to do it. Because then it's like, if you're asking me, like, you're kind of opening the door for me to say no, which is like, do you want me to say no? Like, do you think that you can't afford it, or do you think that we can't afford it, or do you think that like there's no way to make it work, or do you just not want to do it? You want an excuse to not do it, which is, I mean, money and finances is always a valid excuse.
Right.
So it's like, it just doesn't seem. It seems like you're not really serious. Like, again, you're back to just being all talk, rather than just coming to me and being like, look, let's say that maybe it's gonna be a little tight to do it financially. So it's like, okay, I want to do this for myself and for my health goals, and like, I want to be healthier. I want to do this, and I'm all the way in. Now, there are going to be things that are going to need to change in order for me to do this. And I need you to work with me on this. Because financially, things are going to have to change in order for us to be okay and me be able to do this too. And it's like, when you do that, it's like, okay, you're definitely committed to this. And it's like, again, the nurturing of like, I support you, let's do it. Like, if that's what you want to do and you're all the way in, it just shows leadership. And when you show leadership in a way that is committed and that is just healthy, the woman is naturally going to follow.
Absolutely. I feel like if you guys are asking for permission from your wife, like she said, it's icky. They don't like that. Or your girlfriend, right? Know what your finances should be. You should just know that for yourself regardless, right? You should just know that for yourself regardless. And then know what you're working with budget-wise going into the call. And if you can't afford whatever the person, whether it's a trainer or somebody else,
then you know if you say yes or no.
Well, yeah, you can say yes or no, but you can ask them, hey, can you work with me, because this is what I can really afford. And if the person is really there to help you out, they're gonna work with you. They're gonna work with you, and it's that simple. Is there anything else that you wanted to ask me or bring up, discuss, talk about? No. Okay. We're gonna leave it open for some questions. So if you guys have any questions down below, drop them. Gotta get back to work. I think this live is great. Keep it up with others. We'll learn off of this. Hell yeah, Joey. That's one of my clients. He's a stud. Appreciate you rolling through, Joey. Zay said I have a question. I forgot he did ask a question. How did y'all meet? So, my mom met Cello at church, and my mom was like, yo, I want you to meet my son. And then
She literally did
For real. And yeah, that she introduced both of us together, and yeah, that's how we met. We had a lot of people roll through tonight. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, drop it down below. If not, we're about to head out of here. So I'm gonna give it a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I appreciate all you guys for rolling through. And you guys already know what to do. If you guys got value from this, shoot me a DM. Let me know what you guys took away from tonight's live. And I'll catch you guys on the next live.